So when I was a teenager, I felt I had to be beautiful and perfect in order to be loved. And I became really obsessed with this idea of perfection. So I had to be perfect in all aspects of my life. So I created a set of expectations for myself to follow in order to be perfect according to my perception of perfection. In school, I needed to have the best grades. So I always strived to be the top of my class because if I was the top, then I'd be good enough. So even though studying and being a good student is a good thing, I did it in a way that was really unhealthy and made me feel unhappy. I was always stressed because I was constantly studying, and any free time I had, I would use it to study. In sports, I was on the swim team, and I almost always ranked first in the breaststroke. So whenever I didn't get first though, I was so hard on myself. I was so upset and disappointed because I didn't reach the expectation I'd set for myself. So with my appearance, not only did I have to be the best, I had to look my best. As a teenager, I began to wear makeup and got really into it. So at first, I saw makeup as really fun and I could try out different colors and be creative. But then it changed. And any flaw or pimple I had, it had to be concealed. And there was always something that needed to be concealed, so I never felt pretty enough. I also got really into fashion. So maybe you've walked into the shopping center and spent $300 on that perfect pair of sneakers. I also spent a lot of time and money shopping for outfits that were popular and trendy. So in all aspects of my life, I needed to be the best and look my best to feel acceptable. I also had the mentality that I needed the perfect Instagram. All my posts were edited with the same filter and same color scheme. So if my Instagram looked perfect, then I could portray to the world that my life was perfect. If I had a certain amount of likes and followers, then I could be accepted by the world. So even though I had good grades, good rankings in swim, followed the latest makeup and fashion trends, and had a color-coordinated Instagram, I just didn't feel satisfied, and it felt like there was nothing I could do that could make me feel perfect or loved. I felt stressed, disappointed, not pretty enough, and definitely not good enough. So about a year ago, my friends invited me to do this challenge where we would not wear makeup for a month. That made me panic because I wore makeup every single day. So how could I go out in public every day exposing my face without makeup? I couldn't bring myself to do the challenge, so that was the moment that I realized that, wow, I really didn't feel beautiful without makeup and really relied on it to feel beautiful. So shortly after, there was a school holiday and I went on this mission trip to the Dominican Republic working with kids who were very sick and poor. And on this mission trip, we couldn't wear makeup for the week. It would just sweat off your face and it was just not practical. So while I felt uncomfortable at first, not wearing makeup, I just accepted it and went with it. So over the week, I put my focus into being with the kids and not over how I looked. I got to play with the kids and intentionally spend some time with them. And I began to grow really close to the kids I was working with. They became so overjoyed with me being there, and the joy and smile on their faces as I was with them was just incredible. There's this one child in particular that I grew especially close with. His name is Moses. He was 3 years old and just the sweetest little thing. Over the week, we grew pretty close and developed a really special bond. And whenever I held him, he would just put his head on my chest, and it was the sweetest thing. Whenever I entered the room, he would jump up and down out of excitement to see me, and it was just precious. So the kids on the mission trip showed me the love of Jesus. I went on this mission trip to love and serve the kids, but I was actually shown and received the greatest amount of love from them. They loved me just because I was me. They loved my personality and the fact I wanted to spend time with them. And it didn't matter what I looked like, what I was good at, how trendy my outfit was, how frizzy my hair was, or if I was wearing makeup. They just wanted to be with me and spend time with me. Through the love of these kids, I felt the love of Jesus. So their love was so pure and so free, just as Jesus' love is so pure and so free. It was given so selflessly, just as Jesus' love is given so selflessly. Caring for these kids made me feel so beautiful and loved, which is exactly how Jesus sees and loves me. So I learned to see myself as Jesus sees me, and learned that God created me beautifully and for a reason. So in the story of creation in Genesis, God created people last. He created things in order of importance. First, He created light, then the seas, then the animals, and then people. So this scripture shows me that God sees us as the peak of creation. So we were created as His sons and daughters. And when He created you, He saw you as good. There's a reason He created you for this time, this place, and for a purpose. So coming back from the mission trip, I felt different. For the first time, I felt beautiful because of who I was and not because of how I fit into my definition of perfection. The kids didn't know if I was this top student back home, if I was a good swimmer, or if I had a color-coordinated Instagram. And Jesus also didn't need me to be perfect in these areas. So I felt such a freedom knowing I could be loved and accepted, not for these reasons, but simply because of who I am. So prayer and Jesus then became a bigger part of my life. I asked Jesus to show me how He sees me, and I found that He sees me as beautiful, unique, and good. School then didn't stress me out as much anymore, and success and popularity didn't matter as much. So overall, I became more at peace with various aspects of my life, and I was thankful I was made the way I am. There are definitely some days where I feel less pretty than the day before, and I can still easily fall into the perfection mentality. But whenever I feel down or I'm being hard on myself or notice I'm trying to be perfect at everything, I could just ask Jesus to show me how He sees me and remember that it is good. So while today I still like wearing makeup and dressing fashionably, it is not my identity. I may still strive to have good goals and maybe be a good student, but it is not who I am. So who I am is a child of God who created me and loves me just because I am me. So Jesus does not need you to be perfectly put together. If we are constantly trying to be perfect, we will always be tired and restless because it is impossible. I think it's really important to ask ourselves these questions. Are there areas in my life that I'm trying to be perfect in? Do I feel like I need to be perfect in school and sports? And do I feel like I may need to look perfect in order to be accepted by society? So maybe we're putting these filters on ourselves to make us appear perfect, whether it be actual filters on Instagram, makeup on our face, or portraying success in various aspects of our lives. So what if instead of trying to be perfect, we reflect on who we are, our passions, our personalities, and our identities, and reflect on aspects of ourselves that we are grateful for? Let's ask Jesus to show us how He sees us and rest in the fact that we are created uniquely and good.